Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today, from Beast Kingdom, we are featuring the DAH-056 Batman. So this is the Michael Keaton 1989 Batman. It is a 1/9 scale action figure. It comes in this beautiful box, as you can see here. On the back, it highlights some of the key features. There are interchangeable face sculpts. There's 3 of them. Multiple accessories that you can see here. Multiple hand options. The grappling gun. It looks like he might have... does he have batarangs? I'm not sure if he has... I think he has 1 batarang. Some throwing stars, and some additional accessories. Some of the key features right here. 3 replaceable mouth sculpts. 5 pairs of hands. A suit made of PVC with real fabric for the cape. There's 3 small batarangs, 1 large batarang, grappling gun, smoke bombs, grappling hook, and Batmobile pager. Alright, so I'm very excited for this. Much like everyone else, I'm really happy that Michael Keaton is reprising his role as Batman for the upcoming Flash film. The 89 Batman came out when I was in junior high, and I remember that was such a mind-blowing experience for me. I grew up on the 66 Adam West Batman. And even though I do have fond memories of that version of the character, the Michael Keaton one took Batman to a completely new level for me as a child. Alright, so I'm not sure how thorough this review is going to get. This is a very expensive collectible. It's not an average action figure. And I think I'd want some alone time with it to try to figure out how it works and get all the ins and outs and the bells and whistles out of it. But for now, let's just do an unboxing, and to the best of our abilities, just try to go over, everything that's in here. All right, so I removed the top of the box, and you're kind of left with this. I think it's an insert. There's a cardboard insert here. You remove this. Very professional in its presentation. I dig this a lot. It feels like you're getting something special. And it looks like we are. This is a beautiful piece. Just the way the whole thing is kind of laid out, it's amazing. Very excellent presentation. You have this clear cover plastic over the tray. And let's see how this works. Do we remove this? Okay, there's a little pamphlet in here. I believe this is another language. I can tell you that. I'm not sure if this is... I think this might be Chinese. Let's take a look at the... Alright, so here's a roll call of all the different accessories. You have the grappling gun. You have some batarangs, throwing stars, smoke grenades. You have that crazy grappling deal. The interchangeable face plates right there. And this looks like a lot of fragile accessories. Oh, it's in English also. Okay. So there's the grappling gun. Here's that crazy grappling hook. Interchangeable mouths. Fabric cape. And let's just look at it for a second so you can read it yourself. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And then here's the silicone gel. Don't throw this, or throw it away. Do not eat this. This is to prevent mold. On the underside is a second tray, and this one looks like it houses the accessories. Let me take this off gently. Alright, I'm not going to take these out because the minute I open up this tray, everything's going to explode and I'm going to lose everything. So for now, let's just examine it while they're in the tray. Set this aside. So here are some of the accessories. Grappling gun. And there's the large batarang. the throwing stars, I think, are those the smoke bombs? I can't remember. There's the Batmobile pager and some other doodads, all sorts of bat gadgetry. And let's flip this over and let's take a look at the star of the show. And like I said, I'm not sure how in-depth we're going to get with this. At the very least, I just want to unbox it. Alright, so it's awesome that they give you this plastic tray to keep everything in place, nice and tidy. This is the thing that first caught my eye. This is crazy. So, I guess they give you two different heads. Let's take a look at this. This is wild. Alright, so keep in mind this is a 1/9 scale action figure. Oh, this is crazy. Alright, so for all you people who really hate McFarlane for doing the side eye stuff, this is kind of cool because they give you a head here, and if you look at it, he's already giving you the side eye. Whereas the stock head here, he's looking straight at you. So, and also in the tray, I don't want to take them out and lose them, but here are the interchangeable mouthpieces. So if you look at this, this is absent the mouthpiece. So you could, swap in any of these other ones. There's the one with the mild smirk, and then one where he's kind of looking more serious. And this piece by itself gives you a clear indication of the quality of the product. The sculpting is really well done. The paint application on the 89 bat symbol looks fantastic. And you can see the eyes right there. Very clean. I like the sheen of the black too. It's very reminiscent of the actual material used in the movie. It's not too glossy. It's not too matte. It's a nice satin in between. That looks great. Here's that crazy grappling hook. It feels kind of fragile. I don't think I'd want to get too crazy with it. And parts of it are articulated, as you can see right there. That's really awesome. It wraps around his forearm. And then we're getting multiple hand options here. So, name your poison. Chances are they have the hand you want. And let's take a look at this. The star of the show. Okay, I might have some issues with this. Alright, we'll talk about that in a second. I don't know what this is. What is this? There's like this. Oh, this is the display stand. Cool. Alright, so in addition to the figure, you do get a display stand. Here's the base. Nice black and yellow. It's Batman, 89 bat symbol. Here is the clamp to hold the figure. And here is the post for the stand. So, you plug this in, attach this somehow. And then, you can display your Batman. So, but for now, I'm just going to put this back. Alright, so in terms of price, you're looking at something, I bought this off of Amazon through Amazon, and it ran a little north of $100. I don't remember the exact number. I think it might have been $107, which it sounds like a lot, and it is a lot for an action figure. The reason why I pulled the trigger on this figure as opposed to waiting for I'm assuming we'll get a McFarlane one since they're doing figures for the new movie. But the reason why I pulled the trigger on this is because I really wanted 89 Batman that was the end-all figure. I'm not sure if this is it, but I was impressed by what I saw, and it felt like something I wanted to give a shot. Beast Kingdom, they've already produced a couple of DC-related action figures, everything from, I think, the Batman played by Ben Affleck to Batman and Robin from the Frank Miller Dark Knight. Returns comic book. So they've already dabbled in DC stuff. And this is something I really wanted to check out. And let's look at them up close. It looks great. I'm not sure if this is the face I want to go with. The lips look a little bit too puckered. It almost kind of resembles the parody Batman. If you've ever seen, I think it was, which, Funny or Die? Is that right? Or College Humor. They had those videos on YouTube with their parody on The Dark Knight Rises. And then they had their like comedic Batman, and this faceplate kind of looks more like that Batman than Michael Keaton. But I think the other options look more like Michael Keaton. There's just something weird about this one. But it looks nice. This one, the eyes are looking straight at us as opposed to the side eye from the other head sculpt. The cape here is what I'm worried about. It's a very, very thin material, and I'm talking thin. I remember reading reviews, and I think people said you have to be careful because I'm not sure if anyone actually ripped it, but this feels very fragile, the cape, and it seems like something that might disintegrate over time. There is a wire on the inside of the cape, so the cape is flexible and it's posable, as you can see right here, so you can get it in all sorts of wild poses. And with my OCD, I know I'm gonna go crazy with this because I just want it straight. Let's take a look at the figure up close. There's his bodysuit. I think much like a McFarlane figure, I think this is the crotch piece is a softer rubbery plastic, or not. It's a thin material. It almost feels akin to this, but slightly thicker. The utility belt's nice. I kind of feel like it could have done better with maybe a slightly more metallic finish. And here's the gauntlets. You have the 3 fins, the armor plating. The knee joint is a little bit unsightly right there. I'm not sure if this is accurate to the actual film costume, how it breaks apart like that. And here are the boots. The boots are pretty solid. Nice details on the sole. And let me see if I can remove the head. Oh, okay, that comes off. All right. All right, so here's the cape. Like I said, the cape's a very thin material. I don't know if this is something you want to mess around with too much, because I can't stress it enough. It's really thin. And the reason why I'm kind of worried about this also is that I have an action figure from the early 2000s. It was a Battle of the Planets action figure, I think made by Medicom. And the cape material was similar to this, but slightly thicker. And recently I unboxed that figure. I had it in storage, and the cape was starting to disintegrate. And I'm kind of wondering if that'll be the case with something like this in 5 to 10 years. But at least this is a cape. You know, you can easily replace this with a cloth cape. There's so many third-party sellers on eBay and on Amazon that sell replacement capes for your action figures. But this one's nice, though, because it is wired, so it is posable. You know, so you could get it in all sorts of crazy poses. And we're going to set this aside for now. Let's take a look at the body with the Batman head on it. Simple ball joint for the neck. And it just simply plugs in. Like I said, the likeness to Michael Keaton is kind of questionable on this face. I could kind of see it, but at the same time, it kind of reminds me of that Funny or Die Batman from the Dark Knight parodies. Articulation, I don't know what's underneath this, because the body, there's actually a cloth under armor here, so it's kind of hiding all the seams and joints, so I don't really know what's going on underneath this. So this is actually a fabric material right here. The body armor is actually plastic, so I don't know what the internal mechanism is like, so I don't know how crazy you can get with articulation. It feels somewhat prohibitive that, you know, when the minute I try moving his arm upward, it kind of feels like the material is kind of like resetting it back to neutral a little. So every time I want to lift up, I'm kind of met with a slight resistance, and I don't want to get too nuts with this because I don't even know how tight the threads are on the side of here. So I'm going to say this right off the bat. This feels more like a premium collector piece than like an action figure you'd fiddle around with. If you're more about like, you know, action figure photography or just taking really cool photos of this guy posed in dynamic, you know, situations, doing a lot of cool things, this might not be the figure for you. This feels more like a display piece. You know, this is something that it's not like a figure arts figure or like a Mafex. This is just something, it's almost kind of like they took Michael Keaton and shrunk him down. Like, it just gave you like, here's Michael Keaton in the costume, but it's not a figure, if that makes any sense. Because like the minute you handle them, like for example, I'm bending the knee right here. This is a fabric cloth that goes over the knee, and the material feels really thin. It almost feels like if I messed around with this too much, I'd run the risk of ripping the material. But I don't want to say that it's that easy. You know, for me, it just feels fragile. It doesn't feel, you can see it folding right there. It doesn't feel as durable as like, you know, like a Amigo action figure from like the early 80s, late 70s. You know, this is kind of like a, I don't know. It feels more like a collectible. You know, this is definitely not something that is along the same lines as a McFarlane action figure. Speaking of McFarlane, let's take out this guy just for a size comparison. Marvel Legends Vulcan over here. This is, I think, 1/12 scale action figure, or at least 1/12 according to Hasbro's standard. Here is a 1/10 scale McFarlane designed Batman. Slightly shorter, and the older McFarlane figures are a lot bigger than the newer ones. And then here's a 7-inch scale Diamond Select action figure. Alright, so is this something that's for you? It depends. If you're like a serious Batman collector and you love spending money on like Batman props and replica Batarangs and like the crazy 1/12 Batmobile or Tumbler, this might be for you. If you're more about like this, you know, if you go to Target early in the morning and you like to like buy the McFarlane figures for like $19, this is something that it might entice you, but the price point's super high, and the fact that you can't get super nuts with it might turn you off. You know, there's something about this that it's cool to have, but at the same time, I think it's too fragile to be played with. It's definitely it's priced more towards serious collectors, but it's such a beautiful piece. That's the thing. You know, if you kind of want the end all of like the 89 Batman figures, and you don't care about posing it, and you just want to sit it on your shelf in your den or in your like nerd cave, pull the trigger. I think it's cool. It looks amazing. I mean, just look at it. But at the same time, if you pull the trigger on it, know what you're getting into. This is not like your standard action figure. You know, if you want something that's super posable and somewhat playable, you know, opt out and just get like a Figure Arts or Mafex figure, or one of the 1/12 figures from, was it Mezco? But otherwise, you know, this is, I don't know, I kind of feel conflicted. Like, I'm glad I have this, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I wish I could play with it. You know what I mean? I wish I could play with it without worrying that this thing is going to like rip or tear or break. But it's a beautiful piece to look at. You know, it's fantastic. All right, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.